today's topic. This is one of the very important topic in definite integral. Now let us start definite integral. In the earlier class, we already see how indefinite integral is different from the definite integral. Now in today's class, we will do a very important topic which is related to the properties of definite integral. Now what are the properties of definite integral? Let us see in detail. And this is one question will definitely ask on this topic of 4 marks in the CBSE, and also this topic is very important for the entrance. So let us quickly start understand what are the various properties of the definite integral. Okay, the property number one. Okay, we already know the definite integral is the integral where there is a limit, lower limit and upper limit. So this is a and b, and the function is like fx. So the very first property is whenever whenever you interchange these limits, like you replace a with the b and b with a, then your integral will be negative. This is the very first property, and I think it is very easy to understand also. And then the second property, uh, in an integration f of x from 0 to a, this is equal to 0 to a f of a minus x, and this property we generally apply whenever there is a pi by 2. Means the question is from 0 to pi by 2, and we then we change the function by a minus x. We will see the example later on. So, and this is the one of the property which is very frequently used. And another property is 0 to say a to b f of x. This is equal to a to b f of x dx. It is equal to a to b f of t dt. So these two terms are same. It means let us suppose you are doing the integration of pi by 2 to pi by 6 sine of x dx. So the answer will be remain same if you do the pi by 2 pi by 6 of sine t dt. There is nothing difference between these two kind of questions. They both are same. So at any instance of the question, you can replace x with the t. So this is again a very important property. And one that is what we call the advancement in the property of number 2 is, since this is from 0 to a, there is one property from a to b also, a to b f of x. For this, what you have to do, you have to just replace it with f of a plus b minus x. Rather, in the earlier one, what you did you are doing a minus x. Here you have to do a plus b minus x. So we will see some questions on the basis of this also, and definitely, but we have to remember this one. And I already told you this property we use whenever there is 0 to pi by 2, and this property we probably used where whenever the sum of these two a and b are pi by 2. We will see the examples later on. So let us move forward. Right now, next property is a very important property, that is okay. Okay, let us first of all do some practical questions on the basis of these properties. So let me quickly open the new sheet. Okay, so we'll do some question, very important question on the basis of this. Let us suppose we have a question like 0 to pi by 2 sin x upon sin x plus cos x dx. So this is one of the very important and very basic question which will be asked in the exam several times. So very first tip that I would like to give you, whenever you are going to solve a definite integral, you should have to let it I. So we let it the question as an I, and this is the same. Why we let it I will tell you later on. So this is a question. Okay. Now what you have to do, you have to apply that property, that the property number, this property. This is 0 to a f of x is equal to 0 to a f of a minus x. What it means, okay, for this, for your understanding, I am writing it here. 0 to a f of x dx is equal to 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So I told you you have to apply this property whenever there is a pi by 2. Why I am let us see. When you apply this property here, then you will get like sine pi by 2 minus x. Similarly here, sine pi by 2 minus x plus cos pi by 2 minus x. What it means, in place of x you write pi by 2 minus x, the same thing. Here I mentioned you, whenever there is a 0 to a f of x, you have to convert it into 0 to a f of a minus x. It means wheresoever there is a x, you have to write 0 minus a. 0 minus a is, sorry, you have to write a minus x. A minus x is, a is pi by 2 here, so you have to change all the x's with pi by 2 minus x. And why I am saying you we have to apply this property? See, once you apply this, then this will become sine pi by 2 minus x will become cos x. Similarly, this one is become cos x, and this one will become sin x. And you have to let this as a number 1, and you have to let this as a number 2. Now, the very basic steps you have to do, you have to add 1 and 2. Add 1 and 2. If we add 1 and 2, this LHS will get added into LHS. This will give you 2i. And when you added these two, you see the LCM is remaining same. This is sin x plus cos x. This is also sin x plus cos x. So LCM is sin x plus cos x. And when you add them, you will have sin x plus cos x here. See, this is very easy. So then this get cancel out. Now the remaining portion is 2i is equal to 0 to pi by 2. You left with only dx. Now what is the integration of 2x? Everybody knows this is x. 0 to pi by 2. Now you have to put upper limit and lower limit. So this will gives you, 2i is equal to pi by 2 minus 0. So I is pi by 4. So this how you this kind of question, you can solve it very easily with this property. And this property is very important. In this class, we will discuss only this question based on this property. And this is the most important property on which I expect there must be a question in your CBSE board. So let me quickly recap it again. And I told you we use this property only when 0 to pi by 2. Why? Because if there is pi by 2, then only this sign gets changed into cos x. So mind it, we always apply this property whenever we have pi by 2 here, because sin pi by 2 minus x, sin 90 minus x is cos x, we all know. And similarly sin 90 minus x here is again cos x. Okay, let me again repeat the steps what I did here. First of all, this is a question. The very first step is you have to let it equal to I. Very important step. If you not let it I, so it is very difficult to add LHS. That is why I advise you, whenever you start any question of definite integral, you should have to let it with I, because any instant it will become become I, or you have to add them. So that's why I advise you all, you should have to let every definite integral question before starting I. So this is the very first step. Then the second step is you have to apply this property. You must have to remember this property. Just you have to apply here. You have to change x with pi by 2 minus x. You have to change every x with pi by 2 minus x. And then this sin pi by 2 minus x will become cos x. This is cos x. This is sin x. And when you add these two, these are the steps. In this kind of property, you have to apply these kind of steps only. So whenever you add them, this will become 2i. And when you add these two get cancel out. And this is dx integration is x. Then when you apply upper limit minus lower limit, you will get pi by 2. Then I will be pi by 4. And this is also one of the important steps. You can learn it like that. Most of the answers of this kind of type is pi by 4. So let me let me change this question a little bit. I will tell you what kind of changes, very in 5 minutes we will see. In the next 5 minutes, what are the various kinds of questions will be framed on the basis of this property. Let us suppose the same question will be asked to you in the terms of root, if there are roots. So this is again a new question for you. But you need not to be worried about that. What you have to do, you have to just apply the root here, here, and here, and similarly here, and here, and here, and here, same, and this get cancel out, you know. So this is another question we framed here for you. So this is also asked several times in the CBSE board earlier. So you need not to be, worry about this. This is the same question that we did earlier. You just have to apply root x. Similarly, sometimes this question is asked you like this: sine x 1 by 3 upon sine x 1 by 3 plus cos x 1 by 3. So you need not to bother about this, bother about the power. You have to apply the same thing and you will get 5 by 4 answer. I hope you understand. Whether there is a root, there is, oh, and one more question if I design for you is like this: if there is a sine cube x or any power, similarly which is sine cube x plus cos cube x. So this is again a same question and the same way you have to do it. The only thing is you have to take care this power here. You just have to write the power here and this it gets strike out here, and answer of this question also remain the same. So either this question, this question, this question. I hope you understand. This is the only game of powers, and thus you will get you will come up with the same result. So let me told you one more question on the basis of this. This question will be asked to you: 1 plus 10x. So you need not to be bothered about this. 1 plus 10x, if you see, this is also belongs to this family. How? If you write this tan x as sin x plus sin x upon cos x and took the LCM, then you will come up with the same question. See, this is the beauty. You will come up with the same question, and this question also result to answer 5 by 4. The same question is formed. The only difference is here it is sin x, here it is cos x. So the same procedure you have to follow. So this is again a very important question: 1 upon 1 plus tan x. Also this form is also asked several times in the exam. In the same way, if there is a root, you need not to be worried. It is also you will get a same kind of question, same set of questions. So this is also one of the most important question. So I'll write some forms in which it is asked in the exam, and will give you a hint also of the very first one is, and I advise you all to solve all these kind of question: 1 plus tan x. In this you just have to write it sin x by cos x. You come up with the same question: cos x upon cos x plus sin x. And the same way, 1 upon 1 plus cot x, it may be asked to you. And another question, the third question, I'll give you like 1 plus 1 root tan x, or 1 upon 1 plus root cot x. These all are the same category of the questions. So I hope you understand the basic of this property 0 to a f of a minus x. You saw I made 5 to 10 forms type of questions on the basis of this property. I will come back soon with some more questions on the basis of some another properties. Till then, stay tuned. Bye bye. Thank you.